Hello and welcome back. We're going to continue the laws of exponents. This is going to be number 2. All we're doing now is we're taking our laws, for instance, the multiplication law of exponents that says you add the exponents when you multiply. So look at the last video. You're unsure, and this would be 3 plus negative 2 is 1. All we're doing now is we're going to add some numbers in front. The exponent law still stays the same. 2x to the 4th times 3x to the negative 7. But now you have coefficients in front. So you just treat the coefficients like any other numbers, and you're multiplying, so you multiply them. 2 times 3 is 6. And then the exponents, you used your law, and you add them. So that's going to be x to the 4th plus x to the negative 7. So 4 plus negative 7. So that would simplify to x to the negative 3rd. The tricky part here is understanding that you have a negative exponent, so you have to change it. Understanding that this negative 3 is only going to the x. It's not going to that 6. This 6 has an imaginary positive 1 exponent. But this x has a negative 3 exponent. So in order to fix that negative exponent, you have to move it to the bottom and make it positive. But the 6 stays on the top because the 6 does not have a negative exponent. This would be your final answer. Let's do one more with division. So if you have 10 x negative 4th divided by 2x, we'll say squared. So the coefficients are just numbers. So treat them like just numbers. 10 divided by 2 is 5. X negative 4 divided by x2 would be x negative 4 minus 2, because you subtract when you divide bases that have the same base that has the exponents. Like I said, go back to the other video if you're unsure what to do. So this would be 5x to the negative 6, right? Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. This x has a negative exponent, the 5 does not. So the 5 stays where it's at, and the x moves to the bottom. And this would be your final answer. Everything has a positive exponent. All right, let's do one more with a little different. 2 over 20, and the exponent will be x4, x7. So again, the exponent, the coefficients are just coefficients, so we're going to divide them. 2 divided by 20 is 1 over 10. And then x4, x to the 4th minus the 7th. So that's going to be 1 over 10 and x to the negative 3. Again, the 1 stays at the top because it doesn't have a coefficient. It doesn't have a negative exponent. So the 1 and the 10 stay where they are, but the x to the 3rd goes to the bottom. All right, let's do a couple examples from the worksheet that you're going to have to do. Power to a power. So power to a power, remember you multiply, but you're going to have to multiply this 2 to everything. Right, whatever's on the outside, this 2 has to go to everything on the inside. So it's going to be 7 squared, n squared, and then 2 times 4 is r to the 8th. So on the worksheet, let's do number 2 here. When you show me your work, I want this multiplied, so I want to see what it looks like. Right, I want to see all the steps. This is the answer, but I want to see all the steps. So this would be 9. So that's 1 times 3. Right, 3 times the imaginary 1. And then z, 5 times 3. So this would simplify to 9/3 and z 15. So I want to see all of these steps. So just remember, on outside goes to everything on the inside. For number 8, And your worksheet's going to be different than these, but the questions are pretty much the same. You just want to do what's inside first before you do what's on the outside. So you want to take care of inside the parentheses before you take care of this exponent of 2. So this would be 4g squared times g. So you multiply the coefficients. 4 times 1 is 4. And g squared times g would be g 2 plus 1, right? Because when you multiply, you add the exponents. So I want to see that step, right? We're just doing them inside. So that would simplify down to 4g to the third. And then you got to distribute this 2. So I want to see this step 2. 4, it would be 1 times 2. And g would be 3 times 2, which is 4 to the second and g to the sixth. And this would be your final answer. So this is going to have 1, 2, 3 steps before you get to the answer. I'm running out of room here, but when you do this on your own sheet of paper, you'll have all the room that you need. I'm going to do one more like this, and then we're going to move on. Let's do this one here, number 7. So again, do the inside first. So if coefficient times coefficient, 4 times 2 is 8, right? They don't have exponents, so treat them like numbers. And then h3 times h3, when you multiply exponents, you add them. When you multiply the same base, they have the same base, you can add them. This 2 is still there, we haven't done anything. I'll simplify this, so that would be 8h6, and everything's squared. And now I'm going to distribute the 2 to everything inside of the parentheses. So that's going to be 8 1 times 2, because this is imaginary 1, and h 6 times 2. So this simplifies to 8 squared and h to the 12th. So that would be the final answer, and these are all the steps I need. All right, let's do this one. A little different. So the base is 1/5 and the exponents here. So all you would do is add them all up because the base is the same. So you just need to add up all your exponents. So 6 plus 4 plus 2 equals 1/5 to the power of 12. All right, let's do these since they have some negative numbers. Let's do number 3 and number 9. Number 3, the coefficients 1 and a 7. There's just numbers that don't have exponents, so that's just going to stay there. 1/7, right? Imaginary 1 here. And then you're going to have k, 1 minus -6. And then r, 1 minus -5. So we're going to do all this math for the next step, all the subtracting. This is going to be k to the 7th and r to the 6th. And that's the final answer. There's nothing to simplify here. On a question like number 2, 6 divided by 3, just numbers, that's 2. And then you have g3 minus 6, which is 2g negative 3. This g negative 3 can't be negative, so we have to move it to the bottom. Again, we're not moving the 2. The 2 stays at the top. And this will be our final answer. Yeah, let's do number 9 since it has negatives. So we're multiplying these together. The 2 and the 7 are just numbers. 2 times 7 is 14. K negative 2 times k. We're multiplying with the same bases, so we're adding exponents. So negative 2 plus 1. And then r, 6 times r negative 5 is 6 plus negative 5. So we're going to do this, and we have 14k negative 1 r 1. That's an r. So I don't need this 1 here. But this is a negative 1, so I need to move this k down to the bottom. The 14 and the r I'll have positive exponents, so I do not need to move that to the bottom, but I do need to move the k to the bottom. So at the top, I'm going to have 14 and r to the 1, which I don't have to put the 1. And on the bottom, I'm going to have this k to the 1, which I don't have to put the 1. And this will be your final answer. All right, I think that's enough to show you what the steps I need and to go over this once again. So yeah, that'll be it for this video.